Yo, Dank, how you doing? I have to run this in audio only because my phone won't load otherwise. So that's completely fine. I'm not doing anything of any real value anyway. Just chill out to the music. Also, hi Cyber, how you doing? I think I'm gonna be a Chaos Diver a bit. Really? Why's that? What's brought that on? There's some randoms pissed you off. I'm currently making something, but I'll be I'll be on in a bit maybe. I'm just trying to make this first, and then yeah, I can be on. The actual game community, yeah, that sounds about right, honestly. The Dono Doxxing guys, oh yeah. Honestly, like, I'm still even, I don't know, I'm not even going to get into that, because I've got some unpopular opinions about that shit. I think them putting it on Reddit was a horrible idea. They should have contacted devs directly, and that's my overall toxic opinion, but I'm more just sad at the whole situation to see people just think so low. Okay, I think the problem, I do agree that it's a problem with Reddit specifically. I don't think it's to do with the Helldivers community. I think it is just Reddit. I don't think that contacting the devs was, like, I don't even think they're calling, like, okay, so here's the schizo theory I have, right? I don't think they should have done it in the first place, because it is a direct, like, basically they were starting by putting shit out into the void, right? You know, they weren't doing it, you know, just for charity. You know, that was a secondary objective of it. The primary objective was as a gotcha to the devs. It was to say, we can't do this is hard, therefore we doubt you guys can do it either, because, and like, you know, we have people calling for, we've been here having people like calling for the devs to resign for a very long time, and all this, that and the other. I think it's just like a lot of throwing shit at the fan of the devs and trying to see what lands or sticks. And I think it was a pretty shitty thing for them to do in the first place. Now, I'm not saying they deserved whatever happened to them, assuming it did actually happen, because there's no physical evidence. Like, neither I nor you can go out to wherever it is and prove that they actually were, you know, kicked out of their job or whatever it is they were doing. But at the same time, you know, like, they kind of threw gas onto an already existing fire. You know, they basically came out and said, I think the devs are, like, so stupid they can't do this thing. You know, but that's the thing, is I think the problem with it as well is, I think that like, basically, I know that, like, I'm not going to say I can do 10s comfortably at all, but like, I think that the problem with what they've done with the game is made it too easy, because the way that, like, if somebody can solo a 10, then it's too easy. If any player can solo a 10, it's too easy. I think 10s should only be completable if you're part of the squad with no challenger whatsoever. It has to be that if you are running a 10, you have to be in a team, because running 10s as a solo just says to the devs, it's not hard enough, and like, this is meant to be the extreme difficulty of the game. Right, it's meant to be the hardest the game can get, and then you get people going out there and running it solo, and then all that says to the devs is, you haven't made this hard enough, and then they make it harder, and then people go out and complain that it's now too hard. You know, there are reasons I stay away from hive planets, and that is because I don't like dealing with hive lords. You know, like, I have pretty serious anger problems as a starting point, and I don't want to go on a mission where we have to spend, like, what, let's say 10 minutes taking out a hive lord and then getting swamped for the rest of it. It gives me anxiety. I don't like doing it. You know, the game is supposed to have higher levels eventually, but honestly, people just don't know how to figure out where they actually slot in. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, is that as soon as, like, say they bring out difficulty 11 on the 17th, you know, you'll have somebody soloed it within a day, like maybe a week at most, right? And then the devs will go, well, this was too... Like, it's the same thing with Cyberstan, right? Or like, I'll show you now, the first time round, or Malevolent Creek. They have to, when they do that kind of stuff, they have to keep making it harder and harder, because people are just going, oh, this is too easy. You know, and if it's too easy, then fuck you. You know, that's kind of that's a you problem. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's not too easy, but if people are soloing level 10, then it says to the devs, we haven't made this hard enough. And it's meant, and a 10 is meant to be the hardest the game can be right now. Right, so if somebody's going out and soloing it, then that says to the devs, this is not hard enough. That's all I'm saying. I'm interested to know what part I'm not right about. If you're saying I'm right about that part specifically, but you haven't specified which part I'm not correct about. Also, you said that you agree with the majority of my points, but that doesn't mean you agree with all of them. Like, I'm not aggroing here. I'm just interested in, you know, like where my argument is lacking, effectively, because I can fix that. Besides, you know, between dying. In the meantime, let me just quickly read this. I like if the devs, instead of looking at like that, would choose to look at the missions in a way that changes the mission type, or focus the overall side missions. It gets mundane on high levels because the devs are unable to make the engine jumps they need to actually fix the main issues the game originally started. Yep, I mean that's the thing is, like, and I've seen this sentiment a lot, like not specifically what you just said, but it's a miracle that Helldivers 2 works at all as a game, because as we know, it runs on the same engine as Helldivers 1, which was a, you know, a top-down shooter game. It's a very, very, like, that's a very basic, like, compared to the third-person, heavily AI, yeah, it's an old-ass engine. It's literally deprecated at this point, you know, like, so I think the issue is that they're trying to do, like, as much as they can do with that engine they're using. Like, and that's maybe not the best idea. Maybe they should have started in, like, maybe they should have moved up to Unity or something else, you know, before Unreal Engine, before Unity? Unreal Engine. They should have moved up to, like, even Frostbite Engine would work perfectly for it, because they made, the DICE Star Wars Battlefront games were in Frostbite. But obviously that, that comes with its, like, all these new problems, because obviously, up until Helldivers 2, right, Arrowhead were effectively, for all intents and by every definition exists, an indie dev. Right, Helldivers 1 was not a popular game by any stretch of the imagination. It was more like games like Nier. It was a cult classic. Right, so it had followers, but there wasn't a lot of them. Like, most people did not play Helldivers 1. It's like people playing Halo 3 and modding it to high held and wondering why the game has issues running. Yeah, exactly. And there's only so much you can do within the engine of a game. Like, obviously, if they've upgraded to a more modern engine, then, you know, cool. Honestly, I wouldn't have known any different. I never played Helldivers 1, obviously. But, like, at the same time, like, obviously they've got people there who know that engine and are very talented with it, and in order just to change to a different game engine, you would need to hire people to come in and, like, you know, who know these other engines as well. So it might just be a monetary thing. Now, at this point in time, they have made, fuck bro, Halo is in Unreal Engine now for the same reasons, yeah. But like, like, obviously at this point, Arrowhead have made literally bucketfuls of money. They're literally like Scrooge McFucking Duck at this point. But the thing that, like, we need to consider is that if they wanted to swap the game engine right now, they would have to unrelease the game, like, as in remove it from Steam, and then re-upload the new game that is, like, basically a whole new thing, and, like, there's no guarantee it will look like the Helldivers 2 we have right now. You know, they could probably get it close, but, you know, yeah, it's live service, of course. And, like, the thing is, if they take it down for even a day, how many hundreds of thousands of people would be... Well, let's not say 100,000 people. How many people follow Odo? I'll use that as my metric, right, because he is the whiniest Helldiver that exists. 216,000 subscribers. Okay, so if we say that they might as well just make a third game, yeah. Like, at this point, if they were going to move to a different engine, that is their only option. Because they will not make... like, if they make Helldivers 3, it will not work on this engine. We're literally talking about it right now. Helldivers 2 barely works on this engine. Right? But they've got no interest in making a third game. Because the thing is, right, like, if they made a Helldivers 3... Right, think about it like this, right? Is it Half-Life? like, people have been waiting for a Half-Life 3 for like 20 or 30 years? Or something like that. When was Half-Life 2? Let me see. 2004. So yeah, 20 years. People have been waiting for Half-Life 3 for 20 years. Right? Now, I'm going to put a hypothetical across to you right now. If Half-Life 3 came out, would it ever live up to the hype? No, there's no way it will ever live up to the hype. It's got it's got 20 years of expectations behind it. Now, Helldivers 2 has only been out like for what, a year or two? And the thing is like, I don't know how long it's actually been out, but like with Helldivers 2, if they made a Helldivers 3 and it's not I think the best way to put it is like Helldivers 2 is their Half-Life 2. I don't think that even if they tried, even if they really tried, I don't think they can top Helldivers 2. I think this is their magnum opus. Like, you got to bear in mind that there are other games that have come out that are only in the same genre because they are literally copying what Helldivers 2 did. It's like when stuff like Fortnite came out, and you had all of the other Battle Royale games, like COD now has a Battle Royale, and Halo has a Battle Royale, I think. You know, but every game had to have a Battle Royale because Fortnite had one, and it was the most successful game of all time. The Helldivers 2 is a Halo 4 of the series, the game can end. For the Helldivers 2... Wait, what? Sorry, you're gonna have to English that for me. The game can end. Well, I know Helldivers 1 did end. Like, basically, if the game ended, it would just restart. Like, it would restart. But, like, with Helldivers 2, me and Alex actually had a really interesting conversation about this. If they restarted Helldivers 2, like, say we lost the Galactic War, and they restarted it from the very beginning, you know, like, we go back to the creek, we go back, like, everything happens, like, maybe not exactly the same way, because obviously the story is based on the successful failure of major orders. But, like, if we went back to the beginning, they would wipe our progressive... They would wipe our progression. You know, so no war bonds. So we'd lose all our war bonds. And how many people would be happy about that? If they wiped out all of our progression. You know, like, imagine, like, so I'm free to play. I think I've spent, like, I think I bought, like, one war bond, and Alex bought me another war bond. Right? But imagine, like, people who spent, like... I saw somebody the other day, and I don't know if it was legitimate or not, but they had like 40,000 super credits, and obviously that means they bought them. You know, because even, it doesn't matter how many hours in the game you have, I don't think you can legitimately have that many. Right, but if people have spent money on Helldivers too, and then they reset your progress with all your war bonds gone and shit, yeah, again, 100,000 Helldivers will be extraordinarily fucked off. Cracked has 17k. Yeah, I know, but he's playing like 10 to 12 hours a day. The average person is not playing that many hours a day. Like, he's a fucking crazy man. We love our crazy words, absolutely.